Hey everyone, it's Lindsay. So today I'm going to be doing a new type of video. I'm making a recipe video. So I'm going to show you guys how to make a huge staple in my house, which is vegetable broth. I basically use it in everything, so it's actually a lot better for you and cheaper, and honestly just tastes a lot better to make it from scratch, and it's super easy. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that. So let's get started. Okay, so the things that you're going to need for this are 2 onions, 2 large carrots, 3 stalks of celery, and you're also going to need some vegetable scraps. And what I mean by that is just all of the ends and pieces of vegetables that you wouldn't normally be able to use, but you can actually save all these and hold on to them and use them to make vegetable stock. So for example, in my bag, I have some kale that was about to go bad, I have some chunks of red pepper that I didn't really get to use, and I also have some random chunks of cauliflower and cauliflower stems and stuff. So just random odds and ends of vegetables that you wouldn't otherwise be able to use. You're also going to need some fresh herbs. So I picked up this seafood medley from Safeway, and it just has parsley and dill and I think oregano. And normally I like to use the pasta medley, but they were all out of that one, so I'm using the seafood medley. But really you can use whatever herbs you think would taste good. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to slice up our celery and carrots and onion. And quick vocabulary lesson, that's actually called a mirepoix. But anyway, so I just sliced off the dirty end of the celery, and I just threw that away because it's dirty and we don't really want to eat that. But then I sliced off the other end, the white end, and I'm throwing that into my bag of vegetable scraps because we can actually use that later on in the stock. But anyway, so I'm just taking the rest of the celery and I'm going to slice those into small chunks. Next up is the carrots. So first I sliced off the end of the carrots, just like with the celery, and then I threw the ends into a bag of vegetable scraps. And then, so how I cut carrots is I cut it into 2 pieces. And then I take the smaller piece and I just cut that into small little chunks. And then I take the larger piece and I cut it in half down the middle. And then I take those 2 pieces and I cut those into small chunks as well. And then I just repeated that with the other carrot. Alright, next up is the onion. So the first thing that you're going to do with that is you're going to slice off the opposite end of the root end. So that's that end right there. And you can take that piece and peel off the outer skin, and you're going to throw that away because it's kind of nasty. But you can take the inner section of the onion and you can add that to your vegetable scraps. Then set it down on the end that you just sliced off so that it sits flat, and slice it in half down the middle. Then you're going to peel off that outer skin, and again you're just going to throw that away. And then peel off the inner skin, and that's pretty clean, so you can add that to your vegetable scraps. Next, take one of the onion halves and put your palm flat on the top, and then slide the knife through the middle like this, but don't cut all the way through, leave the end connected. Then turn it around and cut some thin slices in the opposite direction through the onion, and again leave the end connected, do not cut all the way through the onion. And then turn it 90 degrees and slice big chunks off the side of the onion like this. And then you can take the end of the onion that was keeping it connected and add that to your vegetable scraps. And then you're just going to repeat that process with the other half of the onion and then the other whole onion. Also, you don't have to cut your onion like this, you can do whatever works for you, but this is the way that I was trained to do it in culinary, so I'm just showing you guys how I like to slice my onions. Next, put a large pot on the stove over medium heat and drizzle in about a tablespoon of olive oil, and then you're going to dump in your mirepoix, which is your carrot, celery, and onion. And then just stir that around and let it cook for about half an hour until it starts to get really caramelized. This is starting to get there, but you want it to get to about here. And I know that it almost looks borderline burnt, but I promise it's not. It's going to give it a really nice flavor in the end. And then just dump in your bag of vegetable scraps. So once you've added your vegetable scraps, take it off the heat and fill it up with water, and then put it back on the heat and stir it up really well. And then once you've stirred it up, just put a lid on it and let it come to a boil. And then when it's boiling, stir it up again, and then put the lid back on and turn the heat down to low and let it simmer for about 2 hours. Once those 2 hours are up, take your pot off of the heat and stir it around again. And then add in all of your fresh herbs and stir those in. After that, you're just going to put the lid back on and you're going to let that pot sit for about 30 minutes. So I forgot to film the last step. The last thing that you're going to do after those 30 minutes are up is you're going to strain the stock so that you get rid of all the vegetable chunks and you're only left with that really delicious, flavorful vegetable stock. Vegetable stock is so versatile. You can use it in tons of dishes, so I always have some on hand, and it's super simple to make at home, so I always make it from scratch, and I feel like it just tastes a lot better that way. It's also a lot healthier because you know all of the ingredients and there's no weird preservatives or anything. You can also control the seasonings and the sodium levels, which is really important with vegetable stock. I hope that you guys try out this recipe, and if you do, be sure to leave a comment down below saying what you thought. Also, be sure to give this video a thumbs up, and also make sure to subscribe to my channel so that you can see all of my future videos. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thank you so much for watching. Bye!